Good morning, everyone. I'm John Keeler, founder and CEO of Blue Star Foods, and I'd like to get everyone's attention to go over our corporate presentations going forward. This is a short slide of forward-looking statement. Please make sure you read all information possible before you make any investment decisions in our company. Our company strategy and mission statement is pretty much a long-term strategy to create a vertical integrated seafood company that offers the high-quality products to our customer while maintaining a core values of delivering safety, traceability, and certified sustainably. And we plan to grow organically by going back to earn our pre-COVID revenues and while introducing new high-value product lines and categories within the seafood industry. Short overview, we have about 23 employees in South Florida, and not counting the other companies that we operate in South Carolina and Canada. We have about a $50 million market share, about 25 million shares available, and we float about 1.2 to 1.5 million shares. The investment highlights of the company are pretty much 5 fundamentals. The micro accelerating to push forward the innovation. There's a lot of government push into help enhance food safety and food security, and through a sustainability and the sequence consumption that has continued to outpace our supply, and the environmental safety concern that exists on the younger generation than us. Establish a supply chain and strong relationship with distributor partners that we have. And we have actually well positioned for expansion in the land-based recirculatory aquaculture system, RAS, and which is high scalable, modular, and with the technology that allow us to expand to other seafood categories, as we already have salmon, soft-shell crab, and looking forward to have other finfish species in the portfolio. And today, we're pretty much very significant discount evaluation if you compare to our peers that have been in the public space a little longer than us. Executive team, simple. There are actually now 7 of us. As of yesterday, we actually have a new director, which is the president of Dole Foods. And we have over 100 years of seafood experience collectively, and with over $1 billion in revenue collectively, and strong company governance seafood-wise. Corporate timeline, this company established back in 1995, so it's been a while. But let's talk about the day we became public. We became public in November 2018 through a triangular reverse merger under OTC. And then in November 2019, we did our first acquisition. Then on April 21, 2021, from 2021 pretty much, we have to stay home due to COVID. April 21, we acquired our first RAS tech company called Taste of BC Aqua Farms in Canada. We did a $3 million private placement in June 2021. We uplisted to NASDAQ with additional $4 million at a greater share price in November 2021. And as of February 2022, we acquired Gold Seafood assets that allow us to enter into soft-shell crab RAS technology. Now let's talk about a little more about what I've done since '95, which is the sourcing of processing of sustainable catch crab meat that'll give you ample main products from blue swimming crab out of Southeast Asia, and the product that we process on site of those facilities and sold in predominantly North America and Europe. That comes with a few patents that we have developed, and we have it globally, which is how to pasteurize crab meat in pouches, and also the material that you use in order to have those pouches available. No one in our space can do them, and the technology is exclusive to ours. And we shall continue enjoying that patent that predominantly is packed for retail. The company is still a very strong focus on ESG, environmental stewardship. We are actually the first crab company that actually released the first global reporting initiative standard sustainability report. It's about 24-month work of compiling data, and we released it in 2021, January 2021, after we received the go-ahead from the United Nations through the Gold Community. And those are available in our website for take a look. And let's go over the branded products that we have. We have several brands that we have acquired, that we developed and acquired through the companies we have purchased. In each of those segments for different silos of the food industry, from retail, food service, restaurant service, quick service, hotel, etc. Each one of them have a different scale of brand that goes along with it. Then, over the years, we have established a very strong supply chain, and with blue chip customers. This is just a brief example of some of the customers, distributor partners that we have. Walmart, Costco, Walt Disney World, Restaurant Depot, Cisco. Ventra is the buying consortium for the Bonvoy Group, or the Marriott Hotel family oriented. And then I want to just go over now to give you a little bit of the introduction about the company. Talk about what really have evolved from us, what it actually took us to go public and really capitalize on what exists today, which is the problem we all facing, which is the double seafood consumption of seafood from now until 2050. The overfishing, wild caught, is still predominant. The conventional aquaculture will not meet that demand gap. And we all know that today we have tons of ocean pollution and the microplastic that now we're seeing a lot. Actually, we see for every 10 fish, we have one fish that contains microplastic. So make sure the next time you eat some fish, ask yourself, is this with or without microplastic? Then go over the aquaculture part. The aquaculture needs to fill the gap. But however, in this particular graph, it shows you that in the blue, that the wild-caught fisheries continue to decline, and it will continue to decline by 2050. That is regressive. There's nothing we can do about it. However, there is growth for aquaculture, but in these highlighted items, you can see right before 2020, that's when the seafood consumption to 2050 will double. So this aquaculture, we're never going to fill that gap, period, end of story. So it will be less fish, a lot more expensive, and polluted. So what we have done is work into a solution and a competitive advantage, which is do land aquaculture, RAS, recirculatory aquaculture system, land-based in tanks. It's a highly derived technology, fully controlled environment. We don't use any antibiotics. Optimal feeding strategy, 1-to-1 ratio. For food, you get fish, and easy grading for harvesting. So that's really the solution that we have, a competitive advantage that we have with this particular company. And in that, we already apply in two particular species. The first one is Steelhead Salmon, okay, which is the acquisition that we did on Taste of BC Aqua Farms in Canada, which we initially already have. Those are actual pictures of the farm. We have a 150-ton facility that is the oldest facility run in Canada over the last 10 years. And now we are actually taking that 150-ton modules to 1,500 tons, which is 150, where we're able to scale it and continue to go over the next 8 years, where we like to really grow into a 21,000 metric tons. Okay, and the other item that we actually, our seafood item, is soft shell crab, which is the one that when we acquired the Gold Seafood assets in February of this year, we have entered into the soft shell crab, where we apply the technology on recirculatory aquaculture system that allows you to get those soft shell crab and hibernate them over time, and you'll be able to have supply year round, which soft shell crab is pretty much only available in certain times of the United States for a very short period of time, anywhere from 3 to 5 months at the very best. But with our technology, we're looking forward to optimize that and able to have soft shell crab fresh all year round. This is the next slide will show you a little bit of the RAS farm layout that we are planning to build, and this is actually the actual picture of the building, and give us that sense of really expand that volume to 10x from what is today, which is only 100 tanks. We plan to go to 1,000 tanks. And the next slides, we're going to talk to you a little more about the growth initiative that we have again in the company. I'm going to break it down in 4. Grow our existing business, regain back our pre-COVID revenues and surpass that. Look for strategic acquisitions that allow us to buy seafood companies at a discount, create the arbitrage, that those companies have a competitive advantage of a particular species where that species is well caught, and we can bring the technology of RAS and enhance their supply chain on that competitiveness that they have on that particular species. And continue to scale the Steelhead Salmon and the soft-shell crab. And of course, that's the last 2, the scaling the RAS business, which is soft-shell crab, and the Blue Star soft-shell crabs division to also enhance it. The financial highlights that we have in the company are pretty simple. In 2021, we did $10 million. We bettered our profit. However, that last year was a transformational that we went from OTC to NASDAQ, of which we have a net operating loss of about $2.8 million, of which $2.6 million, actually strike that, $2.1 million is non-cash one-time recurring payments. So we have to issue stock to pay for our services. At the end, the adjusted EBITDA loss was $700,000 only. We improved our cash position. From the $7 million that we raised, we had $1.2 million, and the balance pretty much has gone to inventory, equipment, and receivables. Okay, it's also important to advise that our Q1 2022 guidance is allow us to right now have about $5 million in gross revenue. So it's pretty much doubling in one quarter what we did last year. So now this year for us is just accelerated growth. Growth. Now, if you compare us with our peers that are a little longer in the public space, I'm going to just name 3 of them, which is one is Aqua Bounty, which is have a $120 million market cap and only have $1.2 million in revenue. Atlantic Sapphire with $350 million market cap, and they have about $50 million in revenue. And Natural Shrimp with about $135 million market cap and have 0 revenue. So we believe that definitely is a time for you guys to invest in this company that is going to continue through this accelerated growth, well capitalized, have a very strong brand equity, is also very keen and with having customers lined up. And for here come is just show you guys that it is a bargain to buy the stocks today. Well, pretty much it. Any questions? I'll leave the rest for the table to ask.
Do you sell this nationally, or do you sell the
The seafood is mostly sold in North America, between Mexico, United States, and Canada. Yeah, we're planning to continue to grow globally because at the end, seafood is a global demand. So we start from who we know, and we'll continue to expand as we get a lot more expansions on our RAS technology farms. We have facilities located in South Carolina for the soft-shell crab. Our distribution center is in Miami, Florida. And our salmon farms are in British Columbia, in Nanaimo. Yeah.
Can you give me an idea how big is your market being aqua?
If we take it into specific silos of species like salmon market is $21 billion a year, and is planning to grow at a pace of 6% year over year. The soft-shell crab is about $500,000. Both business highly lucrative. Crab meat, you're talking about probably about $2 billion. And the seafood overall, we're talking about close to 130 billion US dollars. We plan to continue to communicate the brand attributes that exist, continue working with supply networks, with distributor partners in creating contracts along with them, in pretty much securing them the supply through our projected farm output. Also buying companies that are probably existing companies that already have contract business with a particular supplier, with a particular distributors, that allows then to acquire them and enhance or secure their supply chain by applying our technology. Yeah.
When it comes to employees, where do you find the people that work at these facilities?
Well, very good question. Predominantly, when you go from natural sources, predominantly on geographical areas such as South Carolina, where the soft-shell crab, for example, is just in season, then you have those employees on a temporary basis, seasonal basis. Now, with this technology, we're securing these employees all year round work. And you pretty much find them there. It's blue collar labor predominantly. And out of Canada, there is a very strong aqua farm industry. And currently, the government of Canada is closing down the conventional farms that are actually on the water nearby Victoria Island. And there's tons of unemployment that we're actually now hiring to help us to expand our land-based aquaculture farms. Yeah.
Can you tell us about what do you need in order to grow the fish? What kind of supply chain? Obviously, everybody is having issues getting raw materials. What kind of raw materials do you use in order to grow the fish?
When it comes to fish, there are two major components. Water, thankfully there's plenty in Canada, and feed meal, which is challenging, is continuing to increase month over month. For every kilo or every pound of fish we grow, we need to feed them with 1 kilo or pound as well. So imagine if you end up having in the next 10 years 21,000 tons of fish, that means you need 21,000 tons of feed for the fish per year. So that's really the biggest challenge. Also is capital raise because it's a capital intensive farm industry where the capex for every farm, the unit economics, I'm going to bring it out to you for a second, is about $30 million for every 1,500 tons. Here. So it's $30 million for every 1,500 tons. So 21,000, imagine 21,000 divided by 1,500, you're talking about roughly about 13 farms. Times 30 is $360 million over time. And it takes time to build, times to harvest, and that'll give you an annual revenue about $12 million, and with a net income margin about 44.7%, and your payback is in about 8 years for each farm. That's in salmon. In soft-shell crab, it's different. It's shorter, the ROI is a lot shorter, and for every farm of soft-shell crab, you do about $12 million as well, but the payback is about, the unit economics is about $11 million, which 1/3 of salmon. Salmon needs a lot of water, a lot of bigger tanks, pumps, a lot of massive time to do so. And the soft-shell crab, you pretty much get your payback within 33 months. Yeah. So, but everything else when it comes to growing your inventory, growing your accounts receivables, that's easy attainable.
I'm eating more fish these days compared to, previous. Can you tell us what is the biggest difference compared to the fish that is, in the farm versus the water? Any, besides the microplastic, what are the other main differences?
Well, first of all, fish from the wild is highly likely to be eel fish. Okay, you have the high mercury level, level of mercury level, arsenic, and also antibiotics. So at the end, you think that you're having a healthy choice. In terms you do, however, those chemicals goes into your system regardless and stays there. Okay, while us, we're pretty much giving you as pristine as you can possibly get. We get water underground, we filter the water if it comes in, we recirculate the water 99% of the time, and we don't use any kind of antibiotics. So your fish is pretty much as good as you can get from probably what our ancestors did back in the 1700s, something like that. And this is the only way to grow the fish. Because if fish is eel, it doesn't grow as fast. And then you need to feed them a lot more antibiotics, it's a lot more costly, and at the end, the pressure is there for you to consume a fish that you want to eat today, but highly likely that fish is contaminated, aside from microplastic. Yeah.
Is it all flash frozen? How do you deal with that? Is it delivered fresh?
It's delivered fresh. It's delivered fresh throughout the United States. Yeah.
Is your capacity on the maximum, or you can still?
You can actually grow. I think you need to build new facilities one after the other.
Or inside of your actual facilities you can grow more?
Well, the way you do it, yes, you can actually add modules. So you have a 150-ton module, then you want to go 1,500, you add 10 more modules. And the beauty of having separate module is if one of the modules gets sick, because sometimes the fish gets sick, but you don't have to shut down the entire thing. And then you have any mass mortality as our competitors have had. So you simply shut down and you limit it to maybe 150 tons bad fish that actually have died, or early maturation and didn't grow anymore, or have deformities. Things like that can happen. And no, you need to continue to scale it over and over again. And the beauty of this is there's more demand, and there will be more demand. So we're just going to continue racing to catch up. Guys, we eventually will never ever going to catch up. Okay? So it's not in the business that we're just planning to grow with a hope to sell. No, we want to grow to continue help and secure food for all of us. Sure. I got 2 more minutes.
What is the current spread between wild and farm? What is the price difference?
There's not much price difference. It's a matter of fact, price difference wise, there's not much price difference. There's price perceptions. Baby boomers thinking that eating wild is the best choice. Extremely wrong. And they're willing to pay more for it. Then you have the oldest of the millennials that are looking for it. I don't really care where it's come from. And then you have the youngest millennial, the Gen Z, the Gen X, that are saying, I don't want to eat an eel fish, and I don't care about the price. Those are the ones that are actually going to double in consumption for many years to come. That's what you call a massive movement that is pulling the rug under all of us, guys. Because pretty much all of us in this room are 45 years or older. Okay? These are our generation, our kids. They're looking that. And they already make their mind. They don't have to be convinced by a government. They know what they're looking for to have. And they want that type of fish. And this company have evolved from giving you a small-scale fisheries wild-caught product into a food tech company in order to allow you to have your children have healthy fish. The solution for supply chain issue is to continue to expand the land-based aquaculture farms. We're just simply building more tanks on land and continue growing that fish over and over again. Canada can do anywhere you can do it. So long as you have water, you can do it in Canada, you can do it in the United States, you can do it in, Florida is perfect for that. There's a massive investment here in Florida as well to do so. Wherever you have body water, you can do it. And that's the beauty of this as well. That you can actually... We're in Florida. In South Carolina, we have farms. In Canada, we have farms. There are farms in Mexico, but it's not ours. So the future is RAS. Okay? Coming from a quarter of century seafood work, that's what the future is.
Can you tell us how many different species you have and what other species can be introduced to the black?
Predominantly, we have right now 2, Steelhead Salmon and blue crab meat, or blue crab. We're planning to be on Campachi, we're planning to be on grouper, snapper, mahi. Over and over again, that technology continues to evolve that allows us to go and buy the best company that sells and distributor mahi, for example, or tuna, or red snapper, or grouper. We buy that company, we apply the technology, we secure the supply chain, and we'll continue to go over. Because in many years to come, what it's going to be is like, who has the fish, have the business. No questions asked. Thank you.